What's going on? Albie with Albie Fitness Gaming, and you've seen the title of the video. Look at the vascularity. Just look at it. You've seen the title of the video, you know why you're here. Domain Zoo versus Mono Black Zombies. Not a deck that you see too often, but we're going to go over the gameplay here and see how to play against this deck. So we got a one lander here. We have a couple of one drops. We have some interaction if we draw into some land, and we're on the draw. Say it in most of my videos here. These hands are keepable. Can you be punished? Absolutely. But one lander with a fetch land, with a Wild Nacatl, Ragavan, some interaction, usually is good for us. So grab a breeding pool here because we can grab a Triome to get domain. We are playing the Zagoth and the Sylvia, so usually Temple Garden goes good with the Xander Lounge. Therefore, that's why I didn't grab the Temple Garden there. You know, obviously we don't know we're going to draw Steam Vents, but obviously if we would have gotten the Temple Garden and then drew the Steam Vents, that would have worked out better for us. But that was why I pulled out the breeding pool. That was the thought process behind that, because there's a higher probability of us getting a fetch land than drawing any other land. So here we're on to a good start here. We have our 2/2 Nacatl, we have our Ragavan, and you know, like I mentioned in a lot of videos against these creature decks, whoever has the biggest, baddest creatures on the battlefield win the match. So it's all about getting rid of their threats, making ours bigger, and gaining card advantage by doing combat. So don't mind trading the Ragavan there for one of their threats. Their deck without Aether Vial, I believe this deck does play Aether Vial, is extremely slow compared to ours. So we're just going to do what Zoo does, and that's continue to put pressure and continue to smash face, brother. So just reading through the zombies here, making sure there's no hidden combo that I'm not aware of. You know, it is modern. People play all kinds of stuff. So, you know, keeping to the game plan here. We're going to continue playing aggressively, swinging in. Opponent can block, trade. We're okay with that because, you know, we're getting damage in. We're trading card for card. And they're just playing one card at a time. And we're sitting back because we have a hand full of gas. So opponent lets us connect here, just reading some more of their cards, kind of get a bigger understanding of what threats we want to Leyline Binding. I'm not too familiar with these zombie decks. I just understand and know that they are just like a tribal deck. They try to play a bunch of zombies that synergize well together. I believe they play Aether Vial to cheat some in, like most tribal decks. So they're going to spend the whole turn to get rid of one of our creatures, which is, you know, which is fine here. And you can start to see a little bit of the synergy that they have here with their deck. So opponent here, I'm thinking, is he or she going to attack knowing that we have a Ragavan? And they do. So they do attack knowing that we have a Ragavan, which is good for us. I guess they realize, so they take it back. They're like, you know what? This person has a Ragavan. That's not a good idea. So now we have domain. So the plays here is we can go Ragavan and trade, or Ragavan connects, deals 2, gets us another treasure token. Right now, the way that I'm looking at it, either way it goes, works out for us, right? We don't mind trading. We don't mind landing the Ragavan and getting an additional treasure token, because then we can fetch, get domain, and play Draco. We could even fetch, play Kavu, and leave Leyline. Can we leave Leyline? No, we need white and black. So no, we wouldn't be able to leave Leyline. Well, yeah, we can. Can we? We get a white, red. No, but it's okay. We have what we need. So here we're just going to go, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to play a threat, Kavu, and we're going to continue the game plan, you know, just landing big threats after big threats, clearing the board, controlling the board, and just, you know, smashing face. Opponent gets rid of our creature there. Our Kavu plays a threat. 2 cards in hand to our 5. And virtually 6 because of the companion. So now we have domain, so now we're cooking with fire. So we're going to hold on to Leyline Binding. Their current board is not anything, you know, that we should be afraid of. They got a blast zone, but we don't have any 1-drops. So they're tapping out for this, so we're definitely going to Leyline Binding this. And then next turn we can play Brawler, and we can Tribal Flames them. We're not too worried about getting rid of their threat here because there's not much that threat can do to us. We have a healthy life total, and they're going to need a string of great cards in order to make a comeback from here. And they're going to have a couple turns to do it. So now they have one more turn. They have one more draw. They could have 2 removal spells here. Even with 2 removal spells here, we can still counter one. So best case, they go for 2 removal spells. We're going to counter the one that hits, that goes after the Draco, and then we should win. So I don't see a way that they can get out of this. So they do play Dark Confidant. So they're probably going to play like kind of like a Jun style green black rock deck where they use removals and creatures, and then the Dark Confidant draws them cards in order for them to get ahead. So that's good to keep note at, because an early Dark Confidant might be something that we want to get rid of to prevent them from stringing multiple removal spells and slowing us down. We could have brought in Veil of Summer there, but I don't think there's any card in our deck that is worse than Veil of Summer. And from what we saw from our opponent, I think our deck matches up pretty well. So again, we keep a 1-lander. We're going to fetch out here we should fetch out a Temple Garden. Last time I fetched out a breeding pool because it does give us domain, but base because the way we have our hand set up, I mean, if we can draw another fetch, we can grab a Steam Vents and have 4 colors. We can Ragavan. We can still Leyline Binding because we can pay 2. We can Tribal Flame. So, you know, having a 2/2 is relevant. So here we don't hit a land, but we still have a 2/2 Wild Nacatl. We're going to attack. We don't mind trading here with an early Bob or Dark Confidant. I doubt the opponent's going to trade their Dark Confidant for our Wild Nacatl. Now, here's the thing about Dark Confidant. So, back in the day, there was always a rule that you always kill the Dark Confidant, right? Because if you don't kill the Dark Confidant, you lose the game. You can't come back from the card advantage that it gives you. I think Modern has gotten to the point right now where it is so fast, so brutal, so devastating, so vaporizing that Dark Confidant can sit there the whole game and not matter. The reason is because sure, you're going to draw a bunch of cards, but are those cards going to be relevant when your opponent is smashing your face in for 8 to 10 damage every turn, putting you on a 2-turn clock? Probably not, right? Probably not. Now, obviously, against control decks, you want to get rid of the Dark Confidant, but against a Zoo deck, you know, we could have killed the Dark Confidant, but we're just like, you know what? Okay, so they draw a bunch of cards. How many cards can they play a turn? One? Sure, they hit us for removal, that's fine. Like they're doing right now, they're tapping out for removal. We have plenty of gas in the tank. And you know, guess what? Eventually, they're going to have to chump block. And not to mention that you do take damage occasionally from Dark Confidant, which can be a liability. So we're going to have Domain here. We're going to have a lot of options here. We could have grabbed there what land? Oh no, we could have not grabbed there. That's what I was thinking. I was going to say if we had another fetch land, we could have grabbed an Overgrown Tomb. We could have played the Draco, and we could have left up the Temple Garden to play a Leyline Binding. So opponent down to 8 now. They have 4 mana and play 7 cards in hand. They have a full hand, but you know, like I mentioned before, like you're gonna draw all these cards, and sure you're drawing removal, but like when you're getting attacked every turn for 6-7 damage, I mean, how many cards can you really play? You know, Modern is just too fast and aggressive now, I feel, for Dark Confidant to be very well positioned. But I could be wrong. Opponent down to 5, so we're going to go ahead and end the game here. Alright, well there you have it, my friends. Domain Zoo versus Mono Black Zombies. We did see the Aether Vial there, so they do play that card. Something that I suspected that they played. You know, this version of the deck that we played here, we're not playing Expressive Iteration. We're playing going back to our Remand and Dromoka's Command. Those are kind of the 2 versions of the deck that I like to play, that I've been going back and forth. I find those are the best cards so far that fit the deck. Eventually, you know, every once in a while I'll throw in like a Lightning Helix and remove a Draco's Command, but overall, that's how I like to play the version of the deck. Anyway, my friend, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like my videos, and take care.